I can simply say that what we call, or what most Africans call African time, is a misconception of time in Africa's background. Is a misconception which entails coming behind time, lateness, or lack of tardiness. And when such is done, it will be described as an act that is peculiar to Africans, which originally is a misconception.
Good day, people. Good day, viewers. Welcome to Lawrence TV. It's your girl Linda Okanwa, and here in studio with me is Comrade Builder Adorable and Mr. DK James. You all are welcome to Lawrence TV.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Today in Lawrence TV, we'll be talking about African time. So, Mr. DK, what's your perception towards African time?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can simply say that what we call, what most Africans call African time, is a misconception of time in Africa's background. Is a misconception which entails coming behind time, lateness, or lack of tardiness. And when such is done, it will be described as an act that is peculiar to Africans, which originally is a misconception. Why did I say that it's a misconception? This is because prior to the advent of colonialism, where Africans defines their actions the way that is unique to them, they count time in a cyclic manner, in a periodic approach, such as season, such as day, night, such as season like rainy season, dry season, and the rest. So there is no linear time for Africans like 5 o'clock at dot, like 6 o'clock at dot. When they fix meeting too, they already know the period which the meeting and the necessary discussion ought to have been taking place. Do you get me? So in that regard, Africans don't make use of linear time originally, but prior to after the colonial period, we received another approach towards time, which is linear timing, especially from the West, where we got time as 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. We fixed meeting at certain definite moment. So in that regard, we are whenever we missed such meeting, we now describe it that is not that timing is not peculiar to us. Whereas originally we accepted to do what? Participate in that timing. Now it is a misconception to do what? It is a misconception to attribute such lateness, such laxity, such act of carefree attitude to African timing, because African timing is totally different. But due to development, we have to adjust to reality that is before us, and as a result of that, we need to extricate such misconception and face the reality that is always or already here before us.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. DK. Thank you very much. It's nice hearing from you. So, here again, we'll be hearing from Comrade Builder Adorable. So, Comrade, what is your own perception regarding African time?
Yeah, thanks for this. In addition to what my colleague have said, the mentality and the ideology of African time have really weighed us down and has been causing many things in the community, even beyond the Africans as well. Because the way we attend to program and some events, we know fully well that the set time is not the actual time. Rather, we already have the mentality and the mindset that if a program is fixed by 2 o'clock, that actually is by 3 or 4. And by so saying, you can see that we might not actually achieve what you want to achieve in that event. So in other words, I will just say that the word African time is not, I don't know how the ideology came about, you understand? It's really something that is using to kill African as well.
All right, thank you, comrade. So, but I want to know, why is it that this African time is being tagged to Africans alone? Does it mean that the other countries, not more like the white countries, they are not involved in this African timing of a thing? Why is it only Africans? Yeah, Mr. TK, let's hear from you.
Just as I said earlier, that is a misconception that is peculiar to Africans. Reason being that Africa includes set of people with a unique background, ideology, cultural and historical experiences. And there, in that regard, there are some sort of differences between Africans and non-Africans. So, this whenever we talk about African time, because Africa is already there, and because we know how we predicate such timing, it is peculiar to Africans. That is why we cannot involve or easily involve non-Africans into it.
Wow, nice one. So now, how do you think we can resolve this mindset of African timing of a thing? So, how do you think we can resolve it?
Okay. In resolving it, there is just one thing we need to do.
Okay.
To understand that lateness is lateness, and that tardiness is tardiness. Once you are late, you are late. And just as we all know, lateness attracts punishment. And in that regard, once we fix a meeting, a class, or whatsoever, anyone that is late ought to be penalized. When such is done, then I think we will adjust with such ideology, because whether at that point African time or no African time will not have matters. In that regard, we scrape it